What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel for another FM22 rebuild. If you are new around here, the rebuilds are where we take a team and see what we can do with them over the course of 5 years. Usually these rebuilds are a team that have historically won something in the world of football, and we try and get them back to that point. Today we are heading over to Holland. This is the first Dutch team rebuild that I've done in this year's FM, so it's going to be an interesting one. We are taking over as Feyenoord, boss. Now, if we dive into the game, this is the reason that we have decided to take over Feyenoord. If we go on to their overview, they are previously Champions League winners. They are also two-time Europa League winners, most recently in 2002. Now, it's definitely a different landscape since the 70s in terms of the Champions League and the money that is available in the world of football, but I think that we can potentially get some success in that Europa League. If you guys like the rebuilds, please do drop a like on the video down below and subscribe to the channel. It really does help this video get out to as many people as humanly possible and really does help me grow my channel, so I really do appreciate that. But without any further ado, let's dive back into the game and take a look a bit more at Feyenoord. So guys, as I said, this is Feyenoord. They are coming out of Rotterdam in Holland, and to be honest, I think it's a very nice little team that they've got. Excellent youth facilities, excellent training facilities, 131,000 season ticket holders as well. Massive rivalry with Ajax, but they do have some really good players, which I'm actually quite happy about. Starting a save with a keeper the standard of 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪. I hope I'm saying that right. I don't think I am though. Please let me know down below. Starting a save with a goalkeeper of this caliber, we really don't normally do that, so I'm really pleased that he is part of the team. And in terms of some of the other squad members as well, if we do it this way, I really think this guy's going to be really good. 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪. I've butchered this dude's name. I'm sorry, bro. He looks like a fantastic little prospect, though. Can play in a lot of positions well. A 3.5-star current ability player, a 5-star potential player. I think he's going to be really good. Obviously, the big hitting name at the moment in the team is Marcos Sensei. He looks really good. I think he will be leaving us pretty darn soon, though. He is already wanted by PSV. Nah, you're not going anywhere, bro. We've also got where is he? The dude that I really want to play lots of games. This guy, 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪 is how I'm going to say this guy's name as well. Again, Turkish people, I'm sorry. 7 counts for Turkey at the start of the game. 3.5-star current ability player as well. 5-star potential. He's consistent. This is the kind of player I like. A good central midfielder on attack. Vital role in FM this year, and he's also a good central attacking midfielder and can play that shadow striker role. I think he's going to be really good and really important for us. And obviously, looking at the ability levels and the potential levels of this team, I think we can only go from strength to strength as long as we can hold on to our players. We've got a couple of players out with us on loan even, but we're going to talk about the tactic that we are going to play. We are playing the GRFM4231. It is the Swansalona V2. We've done a video reviewing this on the channel, but I wanted to give it a little bit more exposure in the rebuild. The rebuilds are the videos that do the best on my channel, so I'm kind of cross-promoting a little bit here so that we can have a look at this formation and see how it gets on over the course of 5 years. Gus Til is a player that we have in on loan as well. He comes in on loan from Spartak Moscow. Reiss Nelson as well is another one. Obviously, you Premier League fans will know who Reiss Nelson is, a former Arsenal player, obviously out on loan. And then they've got Cyril Dessers, is how I'm going to say this dude's name. He is on loan from Genk. Looks okay, not really an elite tier striker. If we quick pick our best 11 without restriction, this is what my assistant manager is saying. So 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪, Trenia, Sensei, Malasia, 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪, I think is going to be quite vital and important this year. Nelson, Til. Sinisterra is someone who I've not actually touched on before, but Luis Sinisterra, the Colombian international, can play on both sides, is going to feature a lot in this team. And then we've got Linson up front, who is our kind of lead striker, shall we say, but he's getting on a little bit. 30 years of age, not been capped by the Dutch national team either, so it's going to be interesting to see how he gets on. In terms of the competitions that we are in, starting things off in FM22, we are in the Eredivisie and the Dutch Cup, obviously, but we are also in the Europa Conference League, the first season of the Europa Conference League, and we've had to do some qualifying to get there as well. As part of the pre-season campaign, We've beaten 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪, and we've also beaten 𝘼𝙗𝙗𝙪 to get into the latest knockout round, where we take on this team, FCI 𝘼𝙗𝙗 from Tallinn in Estonia. So that's going to be really interesting to see if we actually do make the group stages. And then obviously that Eredivisie. Speaking of the Eredivisie, in the season preview, Ajax are the favourites, then it's PSV. We are predicted to finish third, so it's going to be interesting to see how we do get on, and if we can somehow finish in that third spot or go on a little bit higher. In terms of the club vision and what is expected of me in this first season, develop players using the club's youth system. It does have a good youth system, and obviously we know good players come out of Holland regardless. They want us to play attacking football. Don't worry, we're doing that. They wanted us to actually only reach the second knockout round, reach the second knockout round of the competition. I thought that said second qualifying round. It doesn't. Second knockout round of the Europa Conference League. Qualify for the Europa League via the Eredivisie, and then work towards becoming the most reputable team in the Netherlands. So that's going to be interesting to see if we can do that. Let's simulate this season and find out how we do get on in season number 1. So guys, it's the end of the first season, and a very, very successful first season, a league and cup double. We have managed to dethrone Ajax, we have won the Eredivisie, and we've also won the Dutch Cup. So let's talk about the Dutch Cup first and foremost. We got through into the final and we beat PSV 1-0 in that final, to managing to get our name on the trophy for the first time since 2017-2018, which is great to see. Arsenal loanee Reiss Nelson providing the goal there in the 15th minute, and to be honest, I'd actually say that PSV are looking a little bit unlucky to get the job done, to not get the job done here. 17 shots for PSV, 8 on target, 2.17 xG, didn't score. Bijlow 7.8 rating for him, very nice and solid in terms of the back line as well. In terms of the league campaign and the Eredivisie, we have won the league. If we go into the stages and expand the league table, here it is. This is everything in its entirety. 93 points for us, 3 losses throughout the course of the season, no draws, 31 victories. Those 3 losses there coming in against Ajax, Vitesse and Utrecht. 107 goals scored, 34 goals conceded, giving us that goal difference of 73, 93 points overall, winning the title by 5 points, beating Ajax, meaning we do go straight into the Champions League for season number 2, which is going to be really interesting. If we go and take a look at the Eredivisie and look at the past winners, Feyenoord picked it up in 2016-2017 after a long wait. The 1998-1999 season was the last time they won it before. We're hopefully going to try and get a little bit more familiar in terms of this top position and being the best team in Holland. In terms of the money, going into season number 2, we don't have a lot of money, 4.3 million to spend to see if we can bring in some players and make this team even better. I'll be back with the transfer update for season number 2 right now. Okay, so after we had advanced past season 1, we were given a little bit extra in terms of transfer budget, which I'm really happy with because it allowed us to sign some more interesting players. If we go and take a look, we also signed Lucas Copado from Bayern on a free transfer. He comes in as a freebie. He's got 5-star potential. I'm not exactly thinking he's going to be a starter for us right now, but I think he could be a good little player. Obviously, there is a bid for him. We're trying to get him out on loan, but he did come in on a free transfer. Marcos Sensei, this is how we got most of our money. He has departed the club. He has gone to Atleti for 32.5 million. He is now playing in Spain. He had a very good year for us last year. If we go on his career stats, 27 appearances in the Eredivisie for us, but he departs, he leaves for Spain. 32.5 million was too good for me to turn down, and it was all about how we reinvested this money this year. Anel Amatlozic comes in from Malmo, really cheap. He spends the first season on loan at Bordeaux in a new version of the game. 3.1 million pounds we paid to the Swedish side for him, and I'm hoping, to be honest, he comes in and replaces Sensei right away, like straight away. We've also got Hannibal Mejbri on loan from Manchester United. He played the other day, so I'm hoping some of you guys know all about Hannibal Mejbri. I think he could be a good little player for us in those midfield spots. We also brought in this guy, Ladislav Krejcik is how I'm going to say this guy's name, from Sparta Prague. He looks very good, nice and well-rounded, a bit more of a box-to-boxy ball winner than some of the more creative players that we do have in that midfield, so I think he will add something. Pay £6 million for his services to bring him over to Holland as well. Florian Balogun, we've also got another loanee from the Premier League. I think this guy is just going to be like cover for us, but obviously the American, 5-star potential, 2.5-star current ability. He's not elite, but I didn't have the money to go elite, so I'm hoping he can come in and supplement and add in some goals here, there and everywhere. 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪, now I know RDF is absolutely raving about this guy, but he has come in from Barcelona. We are going to be a bit of a Barcelona pickup club, I reckon. He had gone out on loan to Granada, played 33 games in La Liga for them, and Barcelona just weren't having him. Just doesn't break into the team at Barcelona, so we paid £2.5 million for 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪, and to be honest, he can play as a natural in 4 positions and is accomplished in 2 others. I think this guy is just going to be great value for us, and I think at some point Sinisterra will leave. I'm not saying it's now, but I'm thinking at some point he will leave, so 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪 can come in and be that creative force for us. We also signed this guy, Niccolò Fagioli, is how I'm going to say this guy's name. Comes in from Juve, spent the season out on loan. Another nice, well-rounded midfielder. Obviously, we're playing 3 midfielders, 2 central midfielders, and the cam, so we need to have bodies in there that can play that. So £2.1 million we paid Juventus for this youngster, and again I think he can play a little bit more for us. In terms of the competitions this year, we are in the Champions League, and obviously by winning the league and the cup, we are in the Johan Cruyff Shield, is I assume why it's called Schal. That is a Dutch word for shield, is my assumption. I've not seen the trophy yet, so I assume it's a shield. Obviously Eredivisie, we will be looking to retain our title. Champions League, we enter in the group stages, and obviously the Dutch Cup, we enter much later in the competition. In terms of the Eredivisie, in terms of the we're not going stages this time, we're going season preview. Ajax still predicted to win the league. They have signed Dominik Livakovic from Zagreb, which I think is a huge issue for us personally, because he's a very good goalkeeper. So I'm interested to see how he gets on, but I think that's a problem for the rest of the division. In terms of other things, guys, Champions League, I'm not expecting us to do very well in the Champions League. I don't think our coefficient is going to be that good going into that. So I expect us to get a pretty tough group. If we can get bounced into the Europa League, maybe we could go on a bit of a run in the Europa League. In terms of club vision and the expectation for the season, we're doing pretty well. They're very happy developing players using the club's youth system. Our youth intake was very good. I'll show you some of those players once they get of age to be in the first team. Sign players under the age of 23 for the first team. They are delighted with the business we are doing there. We're working within the wage budget. Sign players to sell for profit. We're trying. We haven't actually sold anyone that we've bought yet, and then minimum of 2-year contracts for first team players. That's pretty self-explanatory. If you're coming into the club, I'm going to give you a 2-year deal. In terms of the Eredivisie, they only want us to qualify for the Europa League. They've not actually given us any stipulations on any of the other competitions. There's no board expectation. They just don't care. I don't know. I don't know. Dutch fans, let me know if this is a thing that happens in Holland, if it's all about the league and not about those European competitions. Anyway, we'll simulate the season and see if we are able to retain our Dutch league title. So guys, end of season 2, and it's gone okay, but we're not the champions of Holland anymore. Ajax have really recovered this season and have won the league with 90 points. We had 84 points and finished in second, which does mean we qualify for the Champions League again, which is nice, but relinquishing that Dutch title, it's not something I'm happy about, to be perfectly honest. In terms of the other competitions, Champions League, we were knocked out in the first knockout round of that by Arsenal. If we take a look at our group, I don't actually know what the group was. We were in a group with Barcelona, Lazio and Bayern Leverkusen. That is a really tough group for us. And we do go through in second, which is there where we find Arsenal. If we'd have won the group, we would have taken on PSG. So that's probably a little bit better. But we take on Arsenal and unfortunately lose in that first knockout round. 6-5 on aggregate. Looks like we've won the first leg and then lost against Arsenal in England to see ourselves go out. But a very good account of ourselves in the Champions League and knocked out in the semi-finals of the Dutch Cup by Ajax. That is, yeah, that's a problem, losing 4-0 to them. But we did win the Johan Cruyff Schal, which is shield. Look at it. It's a shield. Love that. And we are the holders of said shield, beating Ajax 3-0 there. But obviously the victory in the league for them is kind of the big issue. If we go and take a look at stuff, I want to kind of show you this stuff in the data hub, because we're doing really well. We're scoring a lot of goals, and we're actually scoring more than we're expected, but we're conceding more than we are expected per game. So we kind of need to take a look at a few things. I'd like to bring in a big striker going into season number 3, and we've got a little bit of money to do so, just under £16 million to spend, and I'm hoping we can bring in some really good talent to lead that line and hopefully take us on to that next level. Season 3 transfer update up next. Right then, guys, transfer update going into season number 3. We've been busy yet again. Picked up some players in the free transfer window as well. 𝘼𝙗𝙗𝙪𝙩 𝙈𝙚 comes in from Liverpool. I think he is the sort of striker that we are looking to take ourselves to that next level. I think he's an elite tier striker. Great as that advanced forward in this formation. I'm hoping he can go from strength to strength. I brought in on a free transfer from Liverpool. Liverpool haven't really played him over the last couple of years, which is really disappointing for a player of this ability level, but Liverpool's loss is our gain. He comes in on a free transfer. We've also signed Joshua Zirkzee as well, bringing another Dutch player back to the country. He is obviously a former Feyenoord player himself, so he comes back to the club, and I'm hoping he can be another sort of striking option for us. We've also went out and signed big on 𝘼𝙗𝙗𝙪𝙩 𝙈𝙚. He comes in £22 million. It's not all up front. A lot of it is in installments, but we really wanted another elite tier central attacking midfielder. I feel like the Turkish dude is probably better suited to being in the midfield, and then someone like Thiago Almeida can come in and play as that shadow striker, but he has the option. He can play in a number of positions, and obviously we've had to pry him away from Atlanta United in the MLS this time around. No easy pickups for Vélez, so we paid £22 million for his services to Atlanta United. We've also signed Nico from Barcelona's B team. Again, another Barcelona player who was transfer listed. Just pick him up. Another good little one to store in the club, if you ask me. We take a look at his career stats. £5.75 million we paid for him. He's played for Barcelona a decent amount in 21-22, but then didn't play in that second season. 22-23 was playing all the time for Barcelona B. So £5.75 million, I think, is a good little bit of business. One of the players out, Milan Hockey is how I'm going to say this guy's name. £3.7 million to AC Milan. I'm not worried about it. In terms of some of the other transfers, we've lost Sinisterra. He has gone to AC Milan as well. £39 million for him. This is a disappointing one, but it's kind of to be expected. He has departed for Italy, but I think we got some good value for him, especially considering he doesn't like playing in big matches. Is something that really does put me off. We then went over and raided Barcelona some more. 𝘼𝙗𝙗𝙪𝙩 comes in for £19.5 million. Young 5-star potential. I think he can be really good in this game if you give him the game time. He wasn't really getting it at Barca. As you can see from here, £19.5 million we paid for him. I think he can be a good player. Oscar Mingueza, we also signed him as well. Can play at right back, can play at centre back, offers us a couple of different options. Really nice and well rounded for a 24-year-old. And I found in my Barcelona rebuild, when I actually played this guy, he was brilliant. Honestly, he was fantastic. We also signed Minamino from Liverpool as well. Another guy who can play in a couple of positions. Obviously, the diversity and the flexibility is kind of what I was looking for in this window. He comes in to play potentially alongside 𝘼𝙗𝙗𝙪𝙩 as he could play as the inside forward, and then obviously 𝘼𝙗𝙗 can go up top. And then we also signed this guy as well, 𝘼𝙗𝙗𝙪𝙩 𝘼𝙗𝙗, again another nice well-rounded central midfielder. He came in from AIK for £1.8 million, so we didn't break the bank on him. I think in terms of our squad and our team and stuff like that, if we quick pick without restriction our best 11, this is how we're looking, and this is how we're probably going to line up going into the season. Bijlow, Pedersen, Amitlozic alongside Gertrudia, is how I'm going to say this dude's name this time around. Malacia, Nico alongside Krejcik, Collado, Kokchu. I'm awful with these names. Thiago Almeida, and then 𝘼𝙗𝙗𝙪𝙩. But we've definitely got the depth in that substitutes bench in Mingueza, in Minamino, in Josh Zirkzee, Feghouli and stuff like that. We've really got the depth. 𝘼𝙗𝙗𝙪𝙩 again another depth option going into season 3. I think we're a much more well-rounded squad this time around with a lot more legs in it, so I'm hoping for another good season. I'll see you at the end of it. So guys, season 3 was actually our most disappointing season so far. I know I didn't touch on some of the expectations and stuff, but in terms of the league, it was to qualify for the Champions League again. In terms of the Champions League, We were expected to get through the groups, and everything else they didn't really mind about. We managed to pick up the Johan Cruyff Shield for the second season in a row, obviously league versus cup winners and stuff like that. So we took on Ajax, and we beat them 3-2 this time around. Anthony looking like he could be a problem for them. They've also signed Harry Maguire, have Ajax in this save, so take of that what you will. Knocked out in the quarterfinals of the Dutch Cup by Vitesse. In terms of the Champions League, guys, we got bounced in that group stage. We were in this group here, Group E, alongside AC Milan, who we sold 𝘼𝙗𝙠 to, Dortmund and Manchester City. Nobody would expect us to get out of this group, and we did not do that. One victory at home to Manchester City, 3 draws, 2 against Dortmund, 1 against Milan, and then we lost away to Man City and AC Milan, respectively. So overall, not the best performance. Means that we didn't drop into the Europa League, just bounced straight away, and it was our lowest points return in the league as well. If we expand the stages here and take a look at the league table, Ajax retained the title with 77 points. Yeah, little bit of a shambles season. 5 draws for us, 6 losses, with our lowest 74 is definitely our lowest. Yeah, definitely by at least almost 20 points, our lowest points return so far in season number 3. We qualified for the Champions League yet again, which does give us a little bit of a financial boost. Another 16 million to spend, but our overall bank balance is doing pretty well. But I'm not really sure who we could, in theory, let's pick up this as our best 11 as well, be able to sell, because over the last couple of years we've been able to sell players to facilitate getting our squad better. 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪 is wanted by Arsenal and Atleti. Divock Origi's upset about, he's lost trust in me, which for a guy who scored 27 goals throughout the course of the season is a little bit of a problem. Thiago Almeida, very good return for him, 24 goals, 10 assists from him. A very good return from the young Argentine, so maybe he is the person that we build this team around, not Divock Origi. We've got some money to spend. I'm looking primarily, I know I've signed a lot of them, primarily in that midfield and defensive options. I'm not sure who we could pick up, and at the start of this video I said about Justin Bijlow actually being a really good player for me. He, compared to some of the other players in the squad, is starting to dip off a little bit, so we're going to have to keep track of him. Let's go spend some money going into season number 4. So we go into season number 4, and I said that I wasn't sure who was going to depart. 𝘼𝙗𝙪 has departed. He has gone to Bayern Munich. We've sold another player, another big bit of income. He is now a Bayern Munich player. We've made some really good money on him, right? £3.1 million we paid Malmo for him, sold him for 41 million. So it's a really, really good profit on him, not to be sniffed at, but it's a big hole to fill in our defense. If we take a look at some of the other players that we've brought in, not actually spent a huge deal of that money, really, considering 𝘼𝙗𝙪 counts as the season before. We've also brought in Yangel Herrera from Manchester City. If we go onto his career stats, he's bounced around a couple of loans and stuff like that from Man City. He's played kind of everywhere, to be honest, and he was last on loan to Tigres in the Liga MX. We picked him up for free. He was being released by Man City, so I thought a player of this caliber really will help us tick in that midfield, can play as that Mazzala really nicely. I think he's a nice little option for us. We also signed Sebastiano Esposito. Now, I did sign him with the expectation that Divock Origi would leave. He hasn't just yet, so we're going to be intrigued to see how these two get on together, and which one actually wins out and becomes our star striker. We've also signed up Paulo Diaz as well, another centre-back. He's kind of come in to replace that 𝘼𝙗𝙪-sized hole in the defence. Not really the same sort of player. He's 5'11", plays his way out of trouble. Is a nice centre-back though. He comes in from River. We paid £10.5 million for him, and I think he could be a decent little option, but is definitely not at the same level as 𝘼𝙗𝙪. There are no other transfers to speak of in terms of the competitions. The same 4 as we have had the last couple of years. The Eredivisie, Ajax are the holders for the last 2 seasons. If we go into the season preview, they are favourites again. We are closing the gap on them though. We've got a couple of players that are making it into the Media Dream 11. We've got Bijlow, we've got Herrera's not ours, is he? Yes, that is our Herrera. Okay, Yangel Herrera comes in. 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪 is how I'm going to say this dude's name, and 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪 𝙈 have made it into the team. It's not all Ajax anymore. We are starting to have our players in there, but definitely not expected to win the division. That is all for Ajax. In terms of the other competitions, Champions League, we're in the group stages again. Dutch Cup, obviously, and we have that 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪 Shield again against Ajax. So it's going to be interesting to see how we get on there in terms of that club vision and stuff like that. We're moving pretty nicely. They're actually quite happy with the business that we're doing and stuff like that. We are trying to grow as a team, but it's difficult when you basically sell your best player every single summer, isn't it? I know that's partly my issue, but they do want to leave, and I never want to keep a player here against their will. So we're moving quite nicely. All they want us to do is just continue to qualify for the Champions League, which is all I can do basically at this point. Just continue to play, continue to be successful. Let's see how season number 4 gets on. Okay, so season number 4 is in the books, and this is our most successful season ever with Feyenoord. So we have managed to recover the Eredivisie title. We beat Ajax out. This is the competition screen. We were knocked out in the Champions League. We were in a group with Manchester City and Real Madrid, but that does mean we dropped into the Europa League, which we were able to go on and win. We beat Monaco in that final. I will go through the fixtures in a second to see how we got there. We also win the Dutch Cup as well, and runners up in the 𝘼𝙗𝙪 𝙈𝙚 Shield, this time losing to Ajax 3-1. I thought that was going to be a sign of the times, but it looks like it was a successful season. We beat Ajax in that Dutch Cup final 2-1. The Europa League I'll touch on in a second, and the Eredivisie, we recover that title. And having had 4 years in Holland, 2 for us, 2 for Ajax, I'm actually all right with that. 26 victories for us, 5 draws, 3 losses, 109 goals scored, 34 goals against. We recover it. It's not our best points total by any stretch, but 83 points sees us win the title by 6 points. Now, let's talk Europa League. So obviously we were in the Champions League. So if we load up the Champions League and the Europa League, you can kind of see we were in Group A with Real Madrid and Manchester City. We lose away to Madrid. We beat Anderlecht and Man City at home, then lose to Man City and Anderlecht away, and then we beat Real Madrid at home, but unfortunately not good enough to go through the group stages. So we do knock ourselves down into that Europa League. We beat Rennes in that first knockout round 2-1 at home, and then drew 1-1 away. So we do progress there. We take on Leicester, Premier League Leicester, 3-0. We beat them at home. We're good at home, not so good away from home. We lose at Leicester 2-0. Soyuncu and Dennis Priat with the goals there. Then we take on Bayern. Now we lose 1-0 away in Munich. They'd already scored, but we did go down to 10 men. 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪 sent off in that one in the 29th minute, and Kingsley Coman's goal was good enough. But when we are good at home, guys, we're good at home. We beat Bayern 4-1 at home. Divock Origi, Thiago Almeida, Alex Collado, and 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪 with the goals, and Leroy Sané with the consolation for Bayern. This is a good Bayern Munich team, and we knock them out in that quarter-final stage. We then take on FC Copenhagen, which is probably the easiest semi-final we could have asked for. We beat them at home 3-1. Again, Esposito, Mingueza, and Thiago Almeida on the goals, on the score sheet. Then we beat them away as well, which is very nice to see. Thiago Almeida definitely doing the business for us again this year. Then we go into the final. We take on Monaco. Where is that? San Mamés. I don't know who plays here. I'm really bad at this. That looks like it says Athletic Club, so I assume it's Bilbao. I'm really bad at stadium names, guys. Sorry. If we go into this Europa League final, we do win it 2-0. Diaz and Collado with the goals, beating Monaco. Looks like we had a much better team. 34 shots, 13 on target, 4.63 xG. Good result from their goalkeeper. They still got Badashile. They still got they've signed Soleil, Soshemi. Golovin is a really good player. Boadu, Volland. This is still a good Monaco team, and we beat them in the final to win that Europa League. All in all, as I said, our best season so far, and we go into season 5 back into the Champions League as the holders of the Europa League. We do have some money to spend, just shy of £26 million this summer, so let's go and invest it and go into our 5th and final season. So guys, we are going into season number 5, and this is the moment of the video where I ask you to comment something down below in the comment section to let me know that you are still watching and still enjoying the video. And today I'm going to ask you guys to say Feyenoord for the Champions League. Now, I don't think it's going to be possible, but we are Europa League winners. Can we take that momentum into season number 5 and win? So we are going to ask you to say Feyenoord for the Champions League. That's what we're going to go for, Feyenoord for the Champions League, to see if we can get it done going into season number 5. We've got a transfer update for you here in terms of what we've been doing. What? Signed all these guys on free transfers, have we? That's all the youth players. That doesn't count, game. We've signed Francisco Trincao, another Barcelona player, joins the team. He is on a free transfer. He was being released by Barca. And when you see Trincao come up, you've got to take a punt on him. We've also signed this dude. We're starting to sign the new gens now. Abdullah Simsek comes in, Turkish international, under 21 international. He's 19 years of age, has all the mentals that I really look for. Really nice physicals as well, and technically pretty good. 6'1", age 19, 4.5 star potential player. I think he can be a really, really good one for us. We've also signed this guy here, Andrew Maggs, a Welsh superstar, listed as a wonder kid. He has come in from Cardiff City. Makes me feel bad as a Bristol City fan buying a player from Cardiff, but 14.5 million for the man at the Championship, averaged over 7 in the Championship last season. 14.5 million pounds. He comes into the team. And that is pretty much it, guys. We've not really sold anybody. We've not really done any other business here. We've let this guy go on a freebie to RB Salzburg. Not really at the level we needed to be at anymore. So in terms of our team and our tactic, this is how we are looking. We've got lots of issues, guys. Lots of players want some contracts. That is a lot of stuff to figure out. Oh my God, I've not been paying attention here. If we go and pick our best 11, this is how we're looking going into this 5th and final season. Bijlow, Pedersen, Garituda, Diaz, Malacia, Herrera, Orkan, Collado, Almeida, Origi, and Esposito. So it's going to be interesting to see how we get on in this 5th and final season. The competitions that we are in more competitions this year. We have the Super Cup. We take on Real Madrid. We are the Europa League winners. They are the Champions League winners. So we take on Real Madrid in terms of that one. In terms of everything else, though, self-explanatory. No board expectation. All they want us to do is do something in the Eredivisie, and all they want then is to qualify for the Champions League. It's 2-2 versus ourselves and Ajax in this 4-year save so far. So hopefully in this 5th season we can overcome them again and maybe say that we own Holland at this point. They are the favourites, but only slightly. We've definitely worked our way back into the reckoning now, and obviously players like Thiago Almeida is really going to start causing even more issues for teams in Holland. I think we're done pretty well. Champions League, you never know how you're going to get on in the Champions League. I'd like to think our coefficient is getting just a little bit better now, so that we can actually get a decent little group and get ourselves through in the group stages, but you never know. I'll see you at the end of the season to review our 5th and final season. So it's the end of the 5th and final season, and it looks like we are owning Holland. We have managed to topple Ajax for a 3rd time in this simulation, in this rebuild, and we've managed to do it. We have beaten them quite comfortably, all in all. 86 points in the league. It's not our highest points return, but we've been pretty good nonetheless in terms of that Eredivisie. If we take a look, we won it the first season, they won it season 2, season 3, we win it season 4, and then we pick it up again in season number 5. If we go into the stages and take a look at the league table, 28 victories for us, 2 draws, 4 losses, 119 goals scored, 34 goals against, and we win the league pretty comfortably in the end. Ajax do finish in 2nd there. Some interesting drop-offs. PSV not really doing as well as they probably should do either. AZ again not necessarily doing as well as they probably should do. In terms of the other competitions, we win the cup again. We've actually been pretty successful in the cup, which I'm really, really happy with. We beat Utrecht in that final 2-1. We win the Johan Cruyff Shield again. We're pretty successful in that one, beating Ajax 2-0. We lost the Super Cup final. We lost to Real Madrid in extra time. Lewandowski scoring 2 for Real Madrid, which is again something you don't see all the time, but fair play. And then in the Champions League, we were in a group with Arsenal, Dinamo Zagreb, and Dynamo Kiev, and we would expect to go through here, but we didn't. We dropped down into the Europa League, where we were unfortunately knocked out in the 2nd knockout round by Atleti. 4-3 on aggregate there. Really disappointing to go out of a competition as a holder of that competition. Just out of curiosity, have they played the final yet? They have. Manchester United won it, and Real Madrid win the final of the Champions League. They go back to back again, so fair play to them. all in all, I've really enjoyed my time in Holland. I think it's really good. None of the new gens that I actually signed that came through the youth development really got in there, which is really a shame. 5-star player here, Frisco Pipers is how I'm going to say this dude's name. We've also got this guy, Andrew Griet. They're decent. They've just not really hit the level that I needed them to hit, unfortunately, to get themselves into this starting squad.